Welcome to Prudent Psychology 101. In today's session, we are going to look at rational, emotive, and cognitive behavior therapy, that is REBT. It's a style of short term cognitive behavior therapy that was developed in the 1950s by a doctor named Albert Ellis, the Albert Ellis Institute. Ellis trained as a clinical psychologist but found the options for treating his patients lacking. His dissatisfaction with the results he was seeing drove him to develop his own brand of therapy that emphasized action instead of talk. So, let me tell you what we will look into this session. We will see what is REBT and then three main forms of acceptance, key concepts of REBT, how does REBT work, techniques of REBT, and difference between CBT and REBT. So these are the six topics that we will cover in this session. So let us look at what is REBT. What is rational emotive behavior therapy? It is created by Albert Ellis, as I mentioned earlier. REBT is a form of the very popular cognitive behavior therapy and has been dominating approaches to psychological treatment since the 1950s. You might be wondering what distinguishes REBT from other forms of psychotherapy techniques. So we will look into that. In essence, Albert Ellis created it's a philosophy of living. Its foundation is the belief that it is not the events in our lives that cause our emotions, rather it is our beliefs that cause us to experience emotions such as anger, depression, and anxiety. It is a mode to consider and change our irrational beliefs and has shown to have a favorable effect on reducing emotional pain. So this is a brief definition. Let's look at now three main forms of acceptance. So there are mainly three forms of acceptance in REBT, that is unconditional self-acceptance, unconditional other acceptance, unconditional life acceptance. So it covers everything, right? If you accept yourself, self, and you accept others as they are, and then you accept life as it is. So let's look at what is unconditional self-acceptance. I have flaws, I have my bad points and my good points, but that does not make me any less worthy than another person. What is unconditional other acceptance? Sometimes people won't treat me fairly. There is no reason why they have to treat me fairly. Though some may not treat me fairly, they are no less worthy than any other person. So what is unconditional life acceptance? Life is not always going to go the way I want. There's no reason why it must go the way I want. I might experience some unpleasant things in life, but life itself is never awful and it is usually always bearable. So these are the three main forms of acceptance in REBT. Now let us look at key concepts of REBT. So there are three major concepts of REBT: ABC framework, emotional disturbance, cognitive restructuring. In a minute, we will look into all these three concepts. So what is the ABC framework in REBT? Based on Ellis' theory that individuals are blaming outward events on their negative emotions instead of their interpretation of the events, the ABC model was proposed. A means activating event, an event that happens in the environment. B believes, the belief you have about the event that happened. C is the consequence, the emotional response to your belief. Activating event is basically called the triggering event, which triggers your belief. So this model was developed to educate others of how beliefs are the cause of emotional and behavioral responses and not the events cause our emotional reactions. So what is emotional disturbance? Emotional disturbance is when somebody has a negative response to their emotional response. The negative emotional response to their emotional response. Emotional disturbance like anxiety as a result of the combination of an activating event. REBT therefore conceptualizes emotional disturbances like anxiety as a result of the combination of an activating event, imagined impending financial crisis, and one believes about the activating event, the self, life, and the future. Example: I shouldn't have to deal with such crisis, and I can't tolerate things. Now let's look at cognitive restructuring. Cognitive restructuring, also known as cognitive reframing, is a technique drawn from cognitive therapy that can help people identify, challenge, and alter stress-inducing thought patterns and beliefs. The end goal of cognitive restructuring is to enable people to replace stress-inducing thought habits with more accurate and less rigid, and therefore less stress-inducing thinking habits. Okay, let's look into how does REBT work. REBT works to help the client challenge, dispute, and question negative emotions, behaviors, and thoughts. Once this is uncovered, the therapist will focus on helping you transform your more irrational beliefs into rational and self-constructive thoughts. So the first step would be identifying irrational thought patterns and beliefs. The very step in the process is to identify underlying irrational thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that lead to psychological distress. In many cases, these irrational beliefs are reflected as absolutes, as in I must, I should, or I cannot. Feeling excessively upset over other people's mistakes or misconduct, believing that you must be 100% competent and successful in everything to be valued and worthwhile, believing that you will be happier if you avoid life's difficulties or challenges, feeling that you have no control over your own happiness, that your contentment and joy are dependent upon external force. So these are all irrational thoughts and patterns, beliefs. So challenging irrational beliefs is the second step. Once these underlying feelings have been identified, the next step is to challenge the mistaken beliefs. In order to do this, the therapist disputes these beliefs using very direct and even confrontational methods. In a while, I'll be giving you the examples. The third step that is taken is gain insight and change the behavior. While REBT uses cognitive strategies, it focuses on emotions and behaviors as well. In addition to identifying and disputing irrational beliefs, therapists and clients also work together to target the emotional responses that accompany problematic thoughts. Clients are encouraged to change unwanted behaviors using strategies such as meditation, journaling, and guiding imagery. So let me give you an example. Here's a sample transcript from a session of REBT, and I have taken it from positivepsychology.com. Client: I had a really difficult presentation at work this week and I totally blew it. Therapist says, tell me about it. Client says, well, I stumbled a little while presenting and I just felt so stupid. In the end, there were tons of questions from the management that I didn't anticipate, and that makes me feel like I missed the mark on the whole presentation. So therapist says, it sounds like you got your point across and engaged your audience, but maybe you didn't give a perfect presentation. Why does that upset you so much? So client says, I feel like I must not be a very good employee if I don't hit the mark every time. So therapist says, and so what if you don't hit the mark every time? Client says, I guess it's not that big of a deal to miss the mark every once in a while. So therapist says, we all make mistakes. It seems like it wasn't giving an imperfect presentation that upset you. It was how you judged yourself afterward that made you feel down on yourself. So client says, yeah, I think you're right. I shouldn't feel so bad, though everyone makes mistakes. At this point, the therapist will likely help the client come up with some statements based on their irrational belief that they must be perfect for every presentation. They might come up with statements like, I must ace my presentation, or I am a bad employee. I must be a model employee, or I have no value at all. I must present with ease, or I am incompetent. Next, the therapist will help the client explore some alternative beliefs like, it's okay to slip up sometimes. Making a mistake doesn't mean I am worthless. Even if I botch up a presentation, I can still be a good employee overall. So this is a simple session how REBT works to find out the irrational beliefs of the client and changing and their thought patterns. Let us look at techniques of REBT. Rational Emotive and Cognitive Behavior Therapy, or REBT, is a style of short-term cognitive behavior therapy that was developed in the 1950s by a doctor named Albert Ellis. Ellis trained as a clinical psychologist but found the options for treating his patients lacking. His dissatisfaction with the results he was seeing drove him to develop his own brand of therapy that emphasized action instead of talk. So there are three major techniques: problem solving techniques, cognitive restructuring techniques, coping techniques. Under problem solving techniques, problem solving skills, assertiveness, social skills, decision making skills, conflict resolution skills are used. Under cognitive restructuring techniques, logical or rationalizing techniques, guided imagery and visualization technique, reframing using humor and irony, exposing yourself to whatever you fear, disputing irrational beliefs, all this is done. Coping techniques, relaxation, hypnosis, meditation, mindfulness, breathing exercises, all this is used in coping techniques. So now let's look at the difference between REBT. So REBT addresses the philosophic basis of emotional disturbance as well as the distorted cognitions, the focus of CBT, which makes it more powerful. As you uproot your absolutistic demands, your cognitive distortions get corrected. What happens in CBT? Going the CBT route of avoiding mind reading proves to be significantly more limited. The next point is REBT highlights the significance of secondary disturbance, which is often the largest factor in lifelong endogenous depression, severe anxiety, and panic attacks. As far as I can tell, CBT completely ignores secondary disturbance. REBT maintains all anger is destructive and teaches individuals appropriate yet unangry effective assertiveness. CBT views some anger as healthy, and although it teaches assertiveness, fails to address uprooting the philosophic core of the anger. Fourth point is REBT presents an elegant solution to the self-esteem problem. It teaches unconditional self-acceptance rather than any kind of self-rating, authentic or otherwise. Most CBT therapists focus on bolstering their clients' self-esteem. Last point is REBT is unique among CBT therapies in differentiating between self-destructive, inappropriate negative emotions versus helpful, appropriate negative ones. CBT views some anger as healthy and appropriate. So, with this, we have come to an end of this session. So now we have come to the end of the session, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any feedback, please do leave your comments below and do subscribe to my channel. And in my next session, I will be coming up with another therapy. Thank you.